What is going on, everybody? We are here. We're going to be going over my golf swing today. We've been reviewing a lot of other people's numbers. I'm going to go over my swing, and I'm going to go over some numbers that are a little different. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, Scott Oden coming at you. We are excited to be here in 2022. Once we get past the new year, the countdown is on. We're actually getting fairly close to golf season. You can see it and kind of feel it on the horizon, maybe a little bit, but that means it's time to really get at it and start working on our game so we're ready when that time comes. Now, I'm going to go over a little bit of my game and my swing. I'm going to be using an app that we have talked about before, and I wasn't sure about it at that time, but now this thing is awesome. I'm really loving using Sportbox AI. It's really helped my swing, and I've had a chance to test it on a variety of golf swings and see what it's doing, and so now I'm kind of a big fan of it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how I can hit a draw. Okay, so that's something, if you've watched the channel, I talk all the time about how to hit a draw and how I'm looking to hit a draw. And so I wanted to go over my swing here today and show you how I've been working on getting better at it. It's getting there. Okay, I'm getting there, and I'm starting to see it in some more round settings, things like that, and I'm starting to get some speed and all that. So let's go over that today because I think I can show you some good things with this app. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead, let's just show you the swing. And so this is all you need to be able to produce what I'm going to show you with Sportsbox if you have not heard of it. Okay, so it's just a slow-mo video from your phone, face on, just got to get everything in it. And so this was me in Arizona, so I had played a little bit already at this point, and I was struggling to hit draws. I was hitting it really solid, but I was not getting that ball to turn over. So I went to the range, I was grinding away at it. I was kind of getting it, but kind of not. So then I was like, all right, let's fire up the phone, get the tripod out, and let's get a video and let's take a look. So looking at the swing, you know, you could say, hey, I actually kind of like that. I was like, man, that's not looking too terrible there for this swing. And this was a 5-iron, by the way. And so we got to go a little bit more under the hood with it. So that's where these numbers will come in. Okay, so a couple of things that I know are going to help me hit a draw, and things that I can struggle with are going to be, I struggle a lot with turn. Okay, that's something I struggle a lot with in my swing. I struggle with turn because I am bigger, you know, things like that. I have to make sure that I get my body turning. And I'm going to talk a little bit about something that can happen that restricts your turn here, which again is illustrated well. So let's take a look first at turns here. So as I go, you know, we're set up pretty normal here. I'd say pretty good setup. The one thing I would point out is I am a little bit, maybe a little bit bent to the right. So side bend is bending sideways. So I'm bent a little bit to the right on this one. Maybe a little bit, but that's okay. That actually can help you hit a draw, but, you know, just something to think about there as we go. So we're going up to the top. Let's do it, okay? So at the top of the swing, what I'm going to notice is my turn is getting to maxing out at right around 83 degrees with my chest and about 37 with my pelvis, okay? So a couple of things that are good there. One, I have good separation from my hips and my chest. That's a good thing, right? X factor, we always hear about that in the golf swing. But what happens is I'm not getting the club what we would call deep enough in that swing, okay? When you're swinging a golf club, turn's role is to create depth. It's to get the club more behind you, and that way you can deliver the club more from the inside. Now, people will say, well, wait, isn't it going to help you get power, things like that? It will, but the biggest thing that I see it affect is if people aren't turning, they have a hard time swinging from the inside and doing it consistently. Now, it helps with power in the way that you can get some forces onto the club correctly, but in a kind of, if we're starting to get really picky, it's not going to be, I think, it's not one of the things that I see that mainly contribute to power as much as, you know, some other things, but it can help you hit it farther because you're going to hit it better, right? So you can see I'm getting back there and things are looking, not too bad, but because I'm not getting that depth, I can't get that club to swing outward enough to create a draw. Now, again, that kind of makes sense because I was hitting the ball very well in Arizona. I was hitting it very solid, but everything just was fighting to turn over, and if anything, it was just fading off a little bit. So the thing that I have to figure out is, why can't I turn? Am I just not turning, or is there something else? And that's where it becomes really helpful to start looking at how your hands go. So this is called the mid-hand path, or if you're looking at some other things, hub path would be another term you may have heard from other sources. But what I'm going to see here is, as I go, the mid-hand path is where the hands join on the grip. What I see is, as I go, notice how I'm going back, and notice how that hand path actually goes back inside and then it drifts to the outside. One of the things that happens is, if you pull your hands in too much, you're actually pinning your body, your arms to your body, and everything starts to get, junked up. And so it's very difficult to turn, because if you're going to turn, what ends up starting to happen is you have to turn so much that you lose your angles and you can't even see the ball and things like that. So for me, that's going to be the first thing that I have to address is, all right, how are my hands going that are going to make that club be able to, to shallow out, to deliver from the inside, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be the issue that I have. So seeing these illustrations have let me get to work and then get to start working out. Hey, now I've got a plan. I'm going to use my live views. I'm going to get that club started. I want more outward hands on the way back. That's going to let me turn the club back instead of trying to pull my hands back. And then what have we gotten? I've gotten the ability to return to hitting a draw. It's actually worked out pretty well so far. Now, we'll keep going. We're going to retest it in a couple of weeks. But one of the things that I want people to think about is, if you're trying to hit a draw, are you using your hands to go from the inside, or are you using your torso and your turn to get that club to the inside? Because we want our hands and arms doing something different. Their job is not to get that club back so it's coming from the inside. They do something different, while that torso is what will make that happen and set you up to deliver the club from the inside. So that's what we're looking for in the swing. That's what I've got to work on, and that's how I diagnosed it using the Sportsbox AI. So really cool stuff. Really fun to be actually doing this for people all over the world. It's so cool that people are able to send me their high-speed videos and we take a look and break them down. So if you have any questions about this, if you're trying to hit a draw, think about how you're getting that club into a good position. Are you using it with your torso, or are you using your hands and arms? That's going to be a really big deal. And if you're somebody that wants help, make sure you check out, we are having a sale on doing these analysis. I will link that down below. You can get this done, a full analysis with a couple of drills that you can do. Make sure you check that out as you're going forward. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If you have questions, comment down below. Just click that subscribe button if you are not a subscriber already. And we'll see you in a future video. Peace.